So now we're on to phase 2. We're talking about primitive reflexes. So the first primitive reflex we're going to work on is the rooting reflex, which is all about the cheeks. So what we're going to do first is we're actually going to place Saebo pads on her wrist because there's a hand and mouth connection that relates to it all. So trying to stimulate both areas at the same time just helps integrate things a bit more cohesively. So when it says there bilateral heart 7 point, the heart 7 point is on the pinky side of the wrist. You can feel right here just this bundle of like little cords. One of them's a tendon, one of them's a nerve, and also there's a blood vessel in there as well. So we want to take these small pads and then place it right here. Make sure it's nice and stuck on. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Make sure it's nice and stuck on there. Cool. And then we take the Saebo itself. So Saebo device has 2 channels. Each channel has 2 leads. So for whichever location you're using it on, you get these leads and then you slide it over the top of here. Make sure it goes all the way in. All the way in. And then to turn it on, flip the switch, it turns on. Then first thing we have to do is
glare. We flip it down this way. There we go.
And then we hit the channel button. You notice channel A is blinking. So then we want to turn the program to the program we want to use, which will be indicated on the plan. So we're going to use P14. P14 feels like just kind of a constant buzz, similar to 10s, but not exactly the same, just for stimulating the sensory systems. This one you can keep pretty low. So also, if you don't hit something after a period of time, that stops blinking. So always make sure it's blinking. And then we can turn that up probably to about a 5. 5 should be good. Always be watching right here. These tend to kind of come off as she moves around a little bit. Now when they're nice and sticky, you have to worry about that less, so the new ones will be fine. But just after a period of time, stickers start to lose their stick. Cool. But now that we have that going, then we're going to go back to using our vibration tool. And the first thing we're going to do is stimulate that rooting reflex. So, taking this, starting on the outside of the cheek, and then moving across. And you'll see that she turns her head and goes to kind of get the Rezzimax in response to that move. So really, if you place it on her cheek, she'll work it for you.
Do you keep alternating sides?
You can do a bunch on one side. Now, the way that she like goes back and forth, I feel like it's kind of easier just to do one side after the other. Yeah. So either way. And then I would say sit here and do this for, at least 30 swipes or even up to like 5 minutes of this. That would be like an ideal world. Cool. Then next, we want to take the InterX device and do basically the same thing. Let's see. Yeah, so you can use two settings, so either or. So when you turn this device on, that's the power button, it turns on. We always go into the chronic phase, and we're either going to use 15 to 60, or we go into this little book and go down to 3 to 1. I'm going to show you 3 to 1. 3 to 1, you tend to feel it a bit quicker. And then we'll turn this up.
The percent part.
Yeah, the percent part with the plus and minus. Turn it up to, let's see, when I start getting the feeling of it. Probably about 9 to 12%. And then doing the same sort of thing. The thing about this device is because the metal kind of ends up sticking a little bit more because of the electricity. Oh, I know. So maybe, so we kind of saw a little bit of a startle response there. She probably felt it pretty good on her lips. So I'm going to turn it down actually to like 7.5. And that seems to be tolerated just a touch better. So yeah, maybe somewhere between 5 to 7.5 for now. There, will be good. And this is just a different type of tool. There's, you know, a little bit of electricity going through there, so it's going to stimulate things differently, which will be good for neuroplasticity to kind of get that varied stimulus.
Good.